In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. And welcome to another edition of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host and moderator, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we have a wonderful, wonderful show for you tonight. Youth and proper education. We have a dynamic guest to speak on this topic all the way from Chicago, live and in color. We That's got right. The math doctor. Praise be to Allah. So before we get to our guest, let me introduce these top flight brothers. You just watch their theme music. Every superhero need theme music. So we want to introduce these superheroes to our people. So first, I want to start with our brother. He's from New York City, born and raised in the Nation of Islam. A fine gentleman, a wonderful brother, wonderful comrade in this work. I want to introduce our brother and your brother, Brother Ahmed B.I. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam, alaikum salam. Thank in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We thank you all for taking time to join the show. Thank you, brother. I like the distinguished gentleman. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we want to introduce one of our guest hosts tonight. He came in at short notice, but like a FOI and a junior FOI, he's already. We must always be ready. So I'd like to introduce one of our students in the Junior Fruit of Islam, an aspiring brother who we are all proud of his growth and development. We've been dealing with him for the last couple of years, and
that's right.
Proud to introduce our brother and your brother Khalik Muhammad. You can come off mute, sir.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, family, and thank you for the invitation, having me on for the second time. The Jock Brothers presents, and also with my brother Shahid as well. Nice to see my brother. Just see him. I mean, it's just unreal right now. But I'm very flattered to be on the show tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. We more excited to having you, brother. You bring life to us, the youth. And so last but not least, one of our brothers who's a native Atlantean. He's a wonderful brother. A brother's brother has a good heart and loves the brotherhood. So I want to introduce to some and present to others our brother and your brother, Brother Kawi Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir, and thank y'all again for tuning in to the Jock Brothers on this Tuesday night. I'm excited about our brother, the math doctor, coming on to our show. We've been trying to get this brother for a long time. We was blessed to run into him at the national training, and I think three of us got your number. I think all of us got your number to make sure we had some type of communication with you,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
Thank you for gracing us. All right. Again, to the viewing audience, thank you for tuning in to the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. And for those of you that has been with us since the very beginning, we thank you so much for that. Of course, for those that support us financially, words just cannot express how much we appreciate the donations you've given to the Jock Brothers to help us along. And for those of you that would like to continue to support the Jock Brothers and this platform, please Cash App us. And the information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And you go to Cash App, it's $ Jock Bros. Once again, it's $ JAKQBROS. And of course, if you could just go to our YouTube page, find the Jock Brothers, and subscribe and hit the bell, man, that'd be much appreciated. It really would. And of course, we try to be a podcast that's more than just a podcast of information. We try to be a proactive podcast and do things in the community. And one of the things that we have going on is our prison initiative. We're trying to get the baddest, boldest, most informative, truth-telling newspaper, the Final Call newspaper, and to our brothers that's incarcerated around the country. We're asking for the help of the Jock Nation in making this a reality. We're asking that you help us in that and donating to that particular platform, the initiative. But just to let you know, to support a brother with the Final Call newspaper for 3 months, That's $18. For 6 months, it's $30. And then for 1 year, it's $60. Please support that initiative to get this newspaper in our family's hand that's incarcerated. They need the truth too. They need brotherhood and unity as well. And what's a better unifying force when you incarcerated than the Final Call newspaper or Message to the Black Man? So please support that initiative. And of course, if you want to support that initiative, again, you use our Cash App, $ Jock Bros, and the dollar amount will tell us if you donate to the platform or do you give into that initiative. And of course, none of us know. I don't know 1,000 brothers that's incarcerated, and so we need the help of the Jock Nation and supplying information for brothers that's incarcerated that you may know that can use this Final Call. So we're asking that you put that information in our email address of jockbrothersviewer@gmail.com, and that information is at the bottom of the screen right now. It's jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Your help is much appreciated. We're saying you thanks from the bottom of my heart. And that's it. That's it. Thank you. All right there, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Jock Nation. We'd like you all to help me and welcome our guests. I would like to give our guests a proper introduction, if you will. Our guest is Student Minister Shaheed Muhammad, also known as the Math Doctor. Mr. Muhammad is currently a full-time mathematics instructor at MUI, Muhammad University of Islam. The Math Doctor, as he is known by, also held a position of assistant professor of mathematics at Malcolm X College in Chicago.
Wow.
He graduated from Lincoln University with a master's degree in mathematics, and he also received his Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics from Penn State University. He is the author of the book, How to Teach Math to Black Students, which we have on deck. And he also has a series of instructional math DVDs that are sold around the country. Muhammad conducts Mr. Muhammad conducts workshops and seminars on the topic of improving the mathematics literacy of inner city youth. That's definitely what we want to discuss today. And we're asking you, if you have any questions, please send your questions in so that we can, inshallah, get them answered for you. Mr. Muhammad also held several young male empowerment conferences titled Boys to Men in Chicago and in several other cities in the United States. He conducts food and clothing giveaways, where we know him for going out with that work, that Final Call newspaper, and diligently conduct community outreach programs to offer disaster preparedness and spiritual upliftment seminars and workshops. I mean, he has spoken he's been as far as London, England, Hopkins, Minnesota, Jennings, Missouri, Louisville, Kentucky, Grambling, Louisiana, Raleigh, North Carolina, Chicago, Reno, Nevada, Muskegon. Is that right? Muskegon, Michigan? Muskegon. Okay, Muskegon, Michigan. Thank you, brother, because I know those brothers and sisters from Michigan would have been emailing us. and Buffalo, New York. So our brother has been all over the country teaching mathematics. So I want to introduce to some and present to our brother and your brother, the Math Doctor, Student Minister Shaheed Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Man, it's my honor, and thank you so much for the invitation to be on your mighty, powerful show. And we thank Allah for all that you all are doing to battle the airwaves of madness and ignorance and stupidity with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All the believers that have programs like this is just a tremendous blessing. And I pray Allah that blesses you all to continue, be more successful. I did make a donation as soon as you asked and put it up there, because you want to put your money where your mouth is. So we just thank Allah for you all, and may Allah continue to bless this mighty program as we seek to elevate our people and destroy stupidity and ignorance.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Wow.
All right, brother. So how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling pretty good and thinking pretty good with help
I
of
was just
Allah.
gonna ask you how you thinking, brother.
Yes, sir.
Praise
I
be
knew
to
where you
Allah.
were going.
Yes, sir. So why the math doctor? Where did that name come from? The math doctor.
Well, when Allah blessed me to write the book, How to Teach Math to Black Students, I was looking for a slogan, looking for a not a nickname, but you had the rug doctor, you had the computer doctor, everything was doctor. So I chose the math doctor, not because I'm supreme at math, nowhere near, but because our people are suffering like patients in a hospital. And we are in the emergency state, intensive care, when it comes to mathematical literacy and competency. So it's a service title, math doctor, just like a regular doctor takes care of patients, supposedly brings healing. I made a mission of mine to bring healing to our people and try to elevate us in the area of mathematics, the discipline that we were the originators and are the originators and creators of. But we got wiped away those skills and that competency from the enemy who never wanted us to have math competency and skills in the first place.
Yes, sir. And I mean, you're saying that, and in your book, you pointed out like one of the stumbling blocks to building self-esteem and self-confidence in Black students was because there are hardly any textbooks, mathematics textbooks, or curriculum that inculcate the images and contributions that Blacks have contributed to mathematics. Huh? So is that something you find in your field, I guess, all the time, huh?
When I do workshops for parents, teachers, or students, youth, I always ask them, I say, can you name me 5 Black rappers? Everybody can name me. I say, name me 5 Black entertainers. All the hands go up. 5 Black sports stars. Then I say, okay, can you name me 5 Black great mathematicians? And all you hear is crickets in the building.
Wow.
And once in a while, a student will say, you won. I say, no, I'm nowhere near a great mathematician. I can't tie the shoes of the greats. And then there's when you go to the website or go to Google and just type in great mathematicians, there is I would say a poster that says 100 great mathematicians, and not one of them is Black.
Wow.
So if the great mathematicians out of 100 of them, none of them are Black, what does that tell the child? What does that tell the student? What does that tell the adult that's trying to learn math that's a Black person or a Hispanic or of the indigenous family? This is something not cut out for us.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go where I'm comfortable. I'm gonna go to basketball. I'm gonna go to football. I'm gonna go to rap. I'm gonna go to dance. I'm gonna go to entertainment, because that's where I see the masses of our people doing well in.
Yes, sir.
But that is a shame beyond a shame if you're teaching a subject and you can't present not one great one that looks like the students that you're trying to impart the knowledge of mathematics to. And so they think it's something like Einstein or something. You got to be an Einstein or something in order to master math. And our children and our people are turned away from it because we don't see ourselves in the picture.
I have a sidebar question, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So the first 100 are Caucasians or just non-Black. Are there any great math doctors? I know they are. And do you have that list? Because who validated that list as the top 100? Maybe we need to start our own list.
Look, my brother, the lies are so, because white supremacy is in all the subjects and big time in mathematics. They even lie and say that Pythagoras was the father of music and mathematics.
Yeah, right.
Think about that. He went to Egypt, Alexandria, Egypt, to learn under the scholars, under the math scientists who were Black Egyptians. So how you gonna call, and then you gonna smack us in the face and call him the father of music? Come on now. But you ain't got no rhythm in the first place. How you the father of music? So it's big time. But you have one brother that is my mentor, my role model, and Allah took him back to him. I think it was around 2014 or 15. We lost our dear brother, Dr. Abdul Aleem Shabazz. This brother, most of the Black mathematicians in America were made under this brother. I was blessed to have him as my role model, my mentor. I still have his cell phone number in my phone. I just haven't deleted it.
Yes, sir.
But that brother right there, I can't tie his shoes when it comes to the mathematics skills of this brother. Then you have Imhotep. Imhotep was a mathematician. He was a doctor, pyramid builder, and engineer, all wrapped up in one.
Wow.
See, that's the way our people rolled back then. We weren't proud over one profession.
Yes, sir.
We were rolling with 5 titles up under us, man, with no problem. Because all of them are kind of interrelated. If you're good at math, then you can do medicine, you can do engineering, you can build pyramids on the side as a hobby. You got Sister Hypatia. Hypatia was an Egyptian sister mathematician. You have Philip Emeagwali, if you bring it up to the modern times. This brother's a Nigerian mathematician, self-taught mathematician, supercomputer scientist, and internet pioneer. There would be no internet without this brother.
Look at that. Come on now.
I give a few in my book, but I also, if you just Google great Black mathematicians, Brother Kwawi, you'll see a whole list of them. They got modern ones, and then they got the ones from the past.
So Dr. Shahid or Brother Shahid. Yes, sir. I have an affinity towards math myself.
Praise be to him.
But growing up, I noticed that, there are a lot of our brothers and sisters who does not, and I would tutor math growing up, with some students, some of the groups I volunteered for, I would always find myself tutoring math. So what do you find as the number one barrier to Black students learning math? What is the number one barrier that you find?
It's all in the foundation. My wife, she has her own school, and she's transforming babies, 2, 3, 4-year-olds. She's making them into geniuses. She has 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds doing 4th grade math, 5th grade math. So it all starts in the development of them in their preschool ages. You got to get them early and build their foundation. But a lot of the elementary schools are weak in terms of teachers of mathematics, because the elementary school teachers are not necessarily required to do high-level math or do intensive math studies, so that when they teach it, they give a strong foundation, a conceptual development, not just being a calculator regurgitator where you learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, but you can't apply it to nothing. You can't take it on a higher level. So it's in the teaching. It's in that early years foundation. A lot of the preschools ain't doing nothing but playing.
Right.
Watching cartoons, being babysat. But these are those years when that foundation of mathematics has to be put soundly and strongly in that child's mind. But if the parent's not aware of that and they're not intricately a part of that, then they just drop the children off to preschool, drop them off in nursery, and the people in the nursery and preschool, if they don't have a mindset to teach mathematics strongly, then they're just going to give them the old basic madness that they're getting. Also, as you get up into the other levels, the higher levels, our people lack discipline. And we want instant gratification. We don't want anything where we got to overcome difficulty. You see, so mathematics is that type of discipline where you got to have discipline. You got to practice outside of class. You got to stay on it, or you're going to lose everything that the teacher teaches you. And most of us, we don't want that discipline, or we don't have that discipline to continue learning mathematics outside of the classroom. You have to do it like this. Math is like a musical instrument. If you don't practice, you're going to get rusty.
Right.
Anything, if you're not practicing, you're going to get rusty. But with mathematics, big time. So you have a combination of that. Then you have a weak behind public school system that never was designed to teach the masses mathematics. The Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a people who do not know mathematics will always be subject to a people that know mathematics. So Satan and his minions never wanted not just Black people, but the masses of the people, white, brown, yellow, red, and so forth, to learn mathematics. Because then we're a threat. Then we can problem solve. Then we get critical thinking skills, and we're not the sheep that they want us to be, blind, deaf, and dumb. So the 10%, the wicked 10%, crafted an educational system designed to make the learning of mathematics difficult, make it discombobulating, make it obfuscating and confusing.
Wow. You know, I was in I think algebra 2
I'm mute.
in 9th grade, I believe. And they told me I didn't have to take any other math courses after that. When I got to 10th grade, they told me I think I was going into geometry or something. I was going to take it in the summer so I could be in I think it's what's after geometry? Is it trigonometry or calculus?
Algebra 2
Algebra 2. Say it again.
Algebra 2 and trigonometry, yes, sir.
Well, it wasn't geometry. It was to go into calculus, I believe it was, trigonometry. And they told me I didn't have to. So I'm wondering. So now listening to you, I'm like, well, okay, so that was a plot then. Yeah. It's not to further mathematics. You know, I'm thinking, okay, I get to leave school early because I don't have a math course, man. So is that still a practice going on that you know of, or
man? And then now they doing all this new math and all this space math and all this stuff where they, instead of sticking with the basics, the basic way to do multiplication, they come up with all these inventive ways, and they ain't doing nothing confusing the children. And then the parents are totally lost because they're used to the old school way.
Right.
So all that is part of the plan.
But Shaheed, when did you realize that you had this talent or this skill with math, or has it always come easy to you?
No.
Mathematics.
I would say it didn't happen until I started actually teaching. I don't say I'm real good at math. I say God blessed me with the ability to teach it in a way that people understand it.
Yes, sir.
I make it fun. I make it exciting to learn. I make it relevant, and people. It's just a talent that Allah gave me to make it where people can understand it without it being so high on a difficult level. So that's the only thing I think I have a blessing, talent of being able to teach it and explain it. Because a lot of people, they have math skills, but they can't explain it where somebody can understand it. And then it becomes real discombobulating and confusing, because math can be like that if you don't know how to break it down and make it simple. Right. So I went through high school, you know, I got B's and A's. I wasn't an all A student in math because I had, you know, some basic teachers that they weren't the greatest of teachers. And I didn't really apply myself. I didn't really have a love for math until I got into the teachings on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and began to see the power of mathematics, began to see that mathematics is at the root of everything. And then I got to see our people's need to master mathematics. And then that put me on the road to Math Doctor, the mission, and all that.
Okay. Well, I have a question definitely with that. Go ahead, brothers. I'm sorry.
So, something that you said earlier sparked my thought. I know when my children were young, their mother was speaking about how Asians usually teach their children in some of their schools that they teach mathematics so early. Have you been in contact or have any knowledge with different cultures or different countries' way of adopting mathematics in their school systems?
Well, I know with the Asians and some of the other countries that are doing well, if you look at the international statistics on the countries, America is like 21st, 8th grade, 19th, and 12th grade in terms of mathematics skills. Very low for the so-called superpower, right? But that has a lot to do with the American society. What are we pushing? Sport, play, entertainment, freakishness, buffoonery. You know, you can get 1 million views off of stupidity, shaking your behind in the camera. So mathematics skills is way on the low totem part of the totem pole for American children and American people in particular. It's the dumbing down of America. So Asian culture is totally different. African culture is totally different. They quiet as kept. They say that the students that are coming over here that are blazing, Of course, you got the Indians. Of course, you have the Asians, but the Nigerian students,
Right.
they say, are like kicking butt. And every time when I teach college and I have some students that are straight from Africa, they're blazing the class compared to our students that are born and raised, stamped with the American seal. So it's a cultural thing. See, over there, their parents are pushing education early. Right. In Asia, they push education. I mean, they get to the point where they add extra stress to the child to perform. Some aspect is good, but another aspect is bad because of the stress level. You might get suicides and stuff like that because they didn't perform as well as their parents wanted them to perform. But education is valued. Over here in America, please. Teachers are paid less than garbage collectors. Teachers are looked at as nothing, but people that grade papers or whatever. So if the society doesn't value education, then there's no wonder the children don't. And that's part of the problem. These countries, India, China, Japan, Finland, they value education. And they make it a priority. Cuba, when I was blessed to go to Cuba with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as part of the delegation, and I was representing the Ministry of Education, and that's one of their top priority: medicine and education.
Come on,
medicine and education. Yes.
So if you could box, that was good. If you could run track, that was good. But you were nowhere near on the level of teachers and doctors.
Right.
They were at the top of the society, but not over here. So you go into the school and ask children, how many of y'all would like to be a math doctor? Man, get that crap out of here. You know who the heck that Negro is?
Yes, sir.
How many of y'all want to be an engineer? How many of y'all want to be a mathematician? That's not what our children are saying. I mean, our children in the Nation of Islam, we pray, have a different perspective if their parents are teaching them and they're raising them into teachers. But the majority of our children, please.
Yes, sir. Brother Khalik, did you have a question, bro?
Yes, sir. I wanted to speak on, since we're talking about the topic of youth and proper education, something that I've seen when I look up statistics and stats for schools and universities, and usually almost every single time in terms of academics, especially mathematics, the black men and women are on the bottom.
Yes.
And when you look at those stats, it might give people a sense of inferiority. So how would you eliminate that sense of inferiority as a young black man or woman in terms of academics?
I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people are shocked by the title of my book and they get offended. How to teach math to black students, like we're special, in terms of our ability to learn, and we really need some special help. No, it's just that we are in a chronic state. We are at the lowest level because of what happened to us. You transform a people from being kings and queens to being Negroes, to being slaves. And one thing the master did, he made sure that he didn't allow us to read, and what they said on the plantation, figure. And like in the slave narrative, they called it figure, which means do math. So that was something that they obliterated from the slave. So if you do that to a people for 310 years and destroy their ability to read and do mathematics, then of course you're going to end up with a people that are at the bottom of mathematics. But all I have to say is we need to know our history. And if you know the history, you know that the Caucasian, when he went to find early evidence of mathematics, they didn't go anywhere near Europe. They went to Africa.
Right.
They have the papyrus, the Rhine papyrus. This archaeologist, was last name Rhine. He found this papyrus, which is like paper. That's where the word paper come from Egypt, that showed high level of mathematics skills. We buried or hid the 59,999 books of mathematics from the white man. Only gave them one to build their civilization. So where is the other 59,999? It's the mind of black people. So we are not inferior in mathematics. We just been destroyed by an enemy that made sure that we weren't mathematically literate and competent. And we are coming out of that. But they even said that the slaves had better math skills than the masters. Better math skills than the slave traders. That's why they brought us over here. If we so dumb and so ignorant, they would have brought us over here to build their world. And they wouldn't work 24/7 to keep us down. You don't call 911 on an ant in your house or a roach. You just handle the business because they know threat. So if we know threat, then why do you spend so much time keeping us down?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But no, black man and woman, we are, maybe the statistics show we at the bottom, but we are brilliant in mathematics. We just need the right teaching. We need the right development, and we need the right cultivation at early age. And then we will blossom. And we see it all the time. There's brilliant math students that are black all over the country, but they're not going to put that on the news.
Right.
Yes, sir.
They'll put a rapper on there. They'll put a basketball player up there because that's what they want to get us steered toward. Because we're no threat playing ball and entertaining them. But when you become a mathematician, a physicist, a scientist, now you're a threat. And they don't want us in that. They don't want us in that area.
Brother Kyle, you had something?
Yes, sir. So I'm listening to the math doctor. You seem very analytical. So this is something that I've been questioning a lot of people, and especially in psychology when it comes to our youth. So it seems like the young girls take off academically. They're better readers. They seem to mature fast, and they kind of like leave the young men behind. However, the young boys excel in mathematics more so than the sisters. Mm-hmm. That's the one subject that, for some reason, young girls don't like get right away, but young boys do. Is it? I mean, have you ever run across that yourself? And if so, what would you say is the reason for that?
Yeah, I hear that a lot, but to me, it's really a fallacy. Because in my years of teaching, I've seen a balance. But the sisters, as you said, they have more discipline, more patience, and they're a lot more serious a lot of times than the brothers. Well, you already know biologically that the girls mature faster than the boys. So I think a lot of that has a lot to do with that the boys are trying to impress each other with silliness, buffoonery, because that's what they get praised for. In this society, you don't get praised for being mathematically illiterate. You don't get praised for being a mathematician. You don't get praised for being good in academics, really, period. And Brother Khalik probably can bear witness. If you go on the school campus right now, let's say middle school, and at cafeteria time, you ask all the brothers to get together and say, hey, guys, would you like to read a book together? Man, you might get beat down. but if you got Fortnite, if you got a blunt, maybe if you got anything of this madness, basketball, man, please, you got basketball skills, you can break ankles, you all that. You can knock what they say, I ain't gonna say the N word, but knock it in out, then you get praise. But you stand up and say, hey guys, did you know that the square root of 14 is such and such and such? That's an estimate. Man, please, they call you a nerd. They call you acting white. So the boys have pressure on them because they're in a world, an environment that destroys the black male. And it's not popular. It's not in their best interest to be academically strong because they're in a society that pushes them down for being academically strong. And the girls are allowed to flourish. The girls are allowed to be academically strong. But I see both. I mean, a balance where, girls that are doing well in math, boys that do well in math. To me, it just depends on the upbringing of the children from their parents. And what I see is those children, like we have a lot of children where the parenting is strong and all their siblings come in the same line. All of them are smart. And it's not that they were born that way. It was that the parents created an environment in their home, pushed education, created an environment that made them mathematically strong and academically strong. So that's the key, I think, Brother Kwali, more than the sex difference. It's the parenting. It's the parenting, and it's the society that's destroying the black boys. They want you sweet. They want you buffoon. They want you in sports. They want you to be a thug, anything but academically strong, and indefinitely anything but mathematically strong. Because mathematics is the door to everything. Computers, engineering, trades, all. You can't do none of that without being mathematically strong.
So you got to have a foundation
and a problem solver, and they don't want no problem solver competing against them. See, the women are no threat to them necessarily like the men. So they want the women strong academically, the men sweet and weak.
I just had a question as far as a lot of parents they push more reading on their children, not mathematics as much. So if a child was a good reader and they read a lot of books at a young age, would that assist them at any point in mathematics?
Yes, reading assists the child in any discipline. Reading is the key. Because if you really are going to be good at mathematics, you got to be able to read those word problems. You got to be able to read the vocabulary. You got to be able to read the instructions. And a lot of times we lost with the instructions. We don't even know what they're asking us to do in the problem. But see, those reading skills gives you discipline. It gives you that comprehension. It gives you the deduction skills and the drawing conclusions and so forth that you need in problem solving. So yes, reading is definitely, but our boys are not reading. You see, the girls are reading, the boys are on the video games, the boys are on the phone. I mean, the girls on the phone too, but you'll find more girls doing the reading than you find boys. But right now, I mean, Satan has wiped out reading, period, for the male and the female in terms of the masses of the people, because they're these stupid behind devices. And so the children are bent down every day, just on this phone, on the laptop, on the tablet. And we posting, we trying to get likes, we trying to get followers, we looking at stupidity, you know. Somebody singing on the table and falling off, and then we sharing it with somebody else. It's just so mathematics is we got a serious battle to try to get our children to even think about going into mathematics, let alone doing well in school with it.
So let me ask you, Brother Shahid. Okay, so you're actively teaching now. Do you teach virtual at all?
Yes, I teach. That's why I can't hardly breathe during the week. I teach my college part-time at Malcolm X College. I'm back there. I teach at MUI full-time. I teach Asiatic Minds online. I'm an instructor for them. And then I have a few of my own online students that come into the MUI classes online virtual.
Okay. So we had a discussion earlier, and we were talking about the words that were used was the pros and cons of having you had homeschooling and then or online schooling. Right. And we were just discussing some of the good things and some of the bad things earlier. What do you find as a teacher? Which is more effective? Is one ineffective? Is it all the same? How do you see it as a teacher? The effect of in-person versus homeschool versus online school, the different aspects.
It really just depends on the child and their needs. Those schools, those cities that right now don't have Muhammad University of Islam or don't have an affiliate, homeschooling would be a good option. And if they can't do homeschooling, then online would be a good option, because Asiatic Minds has students from all over the country. They're doing a wonderful job with the Zoom modem of learning. There's online where they read in script, watching video and so forth. But this online, the teachers are live. It's just that they're not in the classroom with the teacher, but they're seeing the teacher, they're interacting with the teacher still. You have that modem. I mean, of course, the optimum is to have the children in front of the teacher. That would be the optimum, but we have to look at what's happening with the modern world. And a lot of people don't have those schools in their cities, can't afford the schools or whatever, the private schools. So that option of homeschool or online, to me, is a great option if you don't have that ability to send your children to a school, independent Black school, God-centered, and with teachers that care about their children. Because the public school, Lord have mercy. If you can pull your children out, get them the blank out of there ASAP, because they ain't nothing but a killing field. You will not find mother wildebeest sending their baby wildebeest to a lion school. It ain't gonna happen.
Right.
We the only people
Right.
that send our children to the enemy, open enemy school, and wonder why they're coming out crazy as all get out.
Open enemy.
And there's so much going on in there. There's homosexual recruiting. There's freakishness. There's a doggone freaky behind teachers. You got gang recruitment. You got weapons being brought in. I mean, you got all that.
Right.
How your child gonna learn and become a god in that type of environment? Madness, white supremacy, all in the curriculum. No. So if you can homeschool and your what I can say, you got to be careful, because if you just got a desire but don't have the knowledge, then you can put your child back 3 and 4 levels. So you got to make sure if you're going to do homeschool, you have the ability to teach, you have the ability to know what's right for them for the curriculum wise, and you can excel them. If not, then look for an online option. Yeah, I would look for an online option. If you can't, you don't have a Muhammad University of Islam or some Black independent school with teachers that care, God-centered, teaching morality, teaching civilization, then look for the homeschool option. If you can't do homeschool right, don't mess up your child, send them and let them do it online, because they can be at home and then they can bring the online option in. And then I would just complement it with taking them to something in the city. Swimming, basketball, martial arts, musical instrument, all that will make give the child a holistic education. Because playing a musical instrument is very, very good for their math skills. Gives them that discipline. Martial arts is very good for their math skills. Chess clubs, all those things that you want to add to the academics to give your child a well-rounded, holistic education.
Okay, praise be to Brother Khalid. Did you have a question?
Not at the moment, but I do have one coming up.
Okay.
Praise be to him.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about role models. Student Minister Shahid. I mean, so I was talking to a friend. She has 2 boys, and my discussion with her was, there's only so far you could take her. Take them, because they're up at age now, and they're getting to the point where it's time to challenge her, and she has to work harder for discipline. And so, I was telling her that they need to be around some male role models, some guys that I guess can, they have a little bit more fight in them, a little bit more authority in them, and they can guide them towards, the desire for more education, or the desire for more respect toward her. Can you talk on that for a minute? As far as do you have any? I know you're at MUI, so everybody probably got a type of male role model in their way, and so you probably you may not see that as much, but if you do see it, give us like an example of what it has done for that child and the importance.
That's good. No, brother, we have. At MUI, we have similar scenarios. Fathers maybe not be in the immediate household, or sometimes they present but not present. They're there physically, but they're not doing nothing to raise the child. So with the help of Allah, I've done several boys to men conferences, and our theme is the same theme, I believe, as your program, Let Us Make Man. So in order to make man, we have to have men to raise, to cultivate, to nourish, and show those young boys, those young men, how to be men. So definitely that role model needs to be there. I call them uncles, and like a mentor, like they need an uncle. So if they're in the mosque, if they're in the church, find some men that would not mind being an uncle to them. Everybody's busy, but maybe once a month, or twice a week, they can call them, take them out on the weekend or something. Man, it's just little things will be so great in that young Black boy's life to help them in their cultivation and in the development. So definitely, I would advocate her getting a role model for those young men, because as you said, once they get to a certain point, they're going to be clashing with their mom, and because now their lion is coming out of them, that ruler is coming up out of them, and they need a bigger lion to keep them in check.
Deep in the check. Yes, sir.
Let them know. Wait a minute now. You don't get out of whack with the lioness. Because then you're gonna hear the roar from the lion. So yes, they need that because and then we have so much in society that's pushing our young men to be sweet, pushing our young men not to be masculine, pushing our young men not to be rulers, not to be fighters, defenders, protectors of women, because now they want them to be the women themselves.
Right. Yes,
and
sir.
So and then you got so-called role models in sports that allow their sons to turn into girls.
Right, bro.
Oh,
Come on, man.
So it's emergency state now. We're in a state of emergency to get our boys and protect them and give them role models, uncles, mentors, any men in their lives that are men.
Right.
Real men with testosterone that understand they need to be a lion, understand they need to cultivate this young boy into being a ruler, a guide. So definitely I would advocate those role models. And what we have at the school, we do, we just had one last week when the sisters had their Vanguard retreat. You know, all the girls pretty much were gone except for the little baby girls. So they got a day off, and then we allowed the boys to have like a little manhood training day. So we were there as brother teachers. We have our dean, brother Captain Dwayne, regional captain. He's the dean of the boys. So we come with them with certain things in manhood training. We agreed that we can't do it just one time. So we're looking at doing it ongoing, and it has to be ongoing. If that father figure is not there, or if the father's there but doesn't know how to necessarily raise their boy.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, parenting is so critical.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Okay, brother. Shaheed, thank you. We're gonna go into our commercial, Jock Nation, and we're gonna come back. And brother Khalik, we'll let you start us off with that question, brother, when we come back. So, brother Kawi, would you like to take us to our commercial, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Jock Brothers presents Let Us Make Man. As you can hear, brother Shaheed is on fire. He's if he ain't cracking your atom, you ain't really receiving what he's saying. So we thank brother Shaheed for coming to the show as well. We knew he was going to do just this. Again, thank you for tuning into the Jock Brothers. Please go to your YouTube pages, share this show, hit the subscribe button, and then the bell. And of course, we would like to promote some of the businesses that we have going on by way of the Jock Brothers as well. I don't see Brother Ahmed, but so with Brother Jackie, this brother here has his very own business. He stepped out on faith early last year, and he's now at a point of striving in his business. He has a business called Supreme Waste. And if you need something done in terms of trying to move, or you need some big load of trash to be thrown out, this brother Jackie, he's the man for that job. Fair price guy. You're dealing with a guy. When you're dealing with a guy, somebody that's gonna treat you right, talk to you right. I don't see the commercial for it, brother Jackie.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for too. Is what I don't see it either. Ahmed has control of it, or the engineer. That engineer has control. We need to check out to get this engineer together. Yes, sir.
When we come back, we'll show you his advertisement. Mm-hmm. Of course, brother Ahmed, our engineer, our producer, he is a now author. He's wrote a children's book, and it's Bilal the Bully is. That's his top seller right here. I mean, support our brother. The way you can get his book is, as you can. I don't know if you can see it, but it's www.beyapublishing.com. Please support our brother as he put out children books that talks about us and our experience as Black people in this country. Very, very important to support our own. And of course, I'm your local realtor. If there's any type of property that you're looking for. And I've been getting a lot of farmland requests lately, and I've been getting a lot of people that's been interested in buying plots of land. Contact your brother. I got you. And I also do residential sales, commercial sales. And if you know somebody that's having trouble with their credit and just need to rent something until they can get their credit right, call me for that reason as well. So to reach me, your brother Kawi, you reach me at my number of 404 671-5681. That covers everything there, Brother Jackie. I appreciate that. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, math doctor.
Mhm.
Now, you know, this is on every believer mind and heart. After learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. You can always prove it at no limit of time. Then you must learn to use it and secure some benefit while you are living. That is luxury money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life. Let's start with learning mathematics. What should we learn? Should we just focus on the add, subtract, multiplication, divide? Should we go to word problems? Should we go to fractions? What should we be learning in mathematics in your view?
Man, in that supreme wisdom, after learning mathematics, which is Islam.
Yes, sir.
So you definitely want to learn your basic foundational math skills, but I think Master Fard Muhammad is taking it to another level where he's letting us know Islam, which is total submission to the will of God.
Yes,
and
sir.
Everything in submission to the will of Allah is Islam. That means everything in submission to the will of Allah is mathematics. So if we study Allah's creation, then we get into the study of mathematics because he creates with mathematics. We're taught by Minister Farrakhan, he does not think off or make decisions off of emotion. He makes decisions off of mathematics. So he is the supreme mathematician. So by studying his creation, we are actually studying mathematics. And when we're told to use it to secure benefit while we are living, Minister Farrakhan always gives us a wonderful spiritual meaning of multiplication. He says you have a multiplier and a multiplicand, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
That multiplier is supposed to be our mind, and that multiplicand is Allah's creation. And we produce a product from Allah's creation. So, brother, which one has the book? Brother Jackie does the book?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Brother Jackie.
So Brother Jackie went into his mind.
Okay.
And he multiplied his thought and made a book children's series. And now he can sell that book, manufacture that book, and get some money, which can give him luxury, money, good homes, and friendship in all walk of life. So when we do something with the mathematics, meaning we go into Allah's creation and produce something. My wife and I, we're blessed to have 5 acres. And my wife went to work. I was just a laborer, but she went to work and studied how to grow certain things. So we have raised bed gardens, and we have eggs that the chickens produce. So we used our mathematics, got the harvest, went into the city, and we sell it for a product, for a profit, I mean. So that's using mathematics to secure benefit while you are living. So yes, you need the basic arithmetic and all that in order to do the multiplying of whatever you produce. But you have to take Allah's creation and then multiply something from that to produce a product. And the more we do that, then the more we're able to sell that product, and the more we're able to have luxury money and good homes. But it also means put your Islam to work.
Come on now.
The more we submit to do the will of God and make the kingdom of God the number one thing in our life, and Allah the number one thing in our life, then those things also come from the benefit and reward from Allah. So you got to use the mathematics individually to produce something and make money, but then you have the ultimate luxury, the ultimate good homes that's coming straight from Allah, from the being a Muslim and submitting our will to do the will of a God, the will of Allah. So it's like a twofold using mathematics.
Absolutely. Yes, sir, Brother Kawi.
Yes, sir. So math doctor, I'm glad Brother Jack asked that question because it sparked this. You know, I've been asked this question from my children. I know other parents been asked this question. I personally think it's a dumb question. However, I struggle to answer it when I ask this question. And so maybe, hopefully, you've come across this question as well, and you can get the parents that's listening a better way to address their children. But one of the questions I've had from my children was, what do I need math for?
Oh my goodness. I
know have you heard that one before?
Man, that's the inspiration for my show. Get your math on. So the first 3 episodes, we're answering that question. You need math because you are mathematics number one. From head to toe, the human body is a mathematically run machine. We got a heart rate. We got a certain number of bones. We have a speed of our neural transmissions that go on to make us move and groove. We have a blood pressure that has to be less than a certain amount in order to be healthy. We have statistics. When we get a checkup and you get a blood work, they give you a whole bunch of statistics: cholesterol level, glucose level, sugar level, PSA, if you're getting that as a man. I mean, you got numbers that tell your health condition. And if the numbers are not right, we get sick, disease, or we may even die. We need to learn mathematics because it's in music, it's in nature, it's in every sport that you want to play, it's in every career that you want to do, it's in everything. If you just sit on a corner, mathematics is going on. So, man, I wish somebody would ask me that question because that's what my whole scope of this show that I'm putting out on the social media is about. The first couple of episodes, we're showing them math and engineering, amusement park rides, movie making. I mean, everything that our children want to go into and I let them know you can't do without math. You got a cell phone. Guess what? There's no cell phone without mathematics. You got to build the cell phone tower at a certain height. You got to put a satellite up in order to get the T-Mobile, Verizon, or whatever signal. All that's mathematics. You like Fortnite. Somebody had to design that video game. Well, what is the language of every computer? It's binary, zeros and ones. So if you ain't speaking mathematics to your computer, you don't have no video game.
Wow.
Fashion design. You like to wear the latest Nikes and so forth. Somebody had to design that. And when you design that, it has to be proportional to the size of the person that you selling the shoe to. All that's mathematics. You can't do fashion design without math. You want to be a CSI person, crime scene investigator. Well, they got to know mathematics. You got angles of the bullets and so forth. They can tell how tall the person was that shot the person. They can tell how far the person was that shot the person. All by what? Mathematics.
Right.
Oh, man, I wish a child would come to me and ask me that question.
but as a parent though, how would you kind of like?
Yeah. If the parent is not aware, because most of these educational institutions don't get into that. They tell the child, well, you need to learn math so you can count your money. You need to learn math to pass the test. Come on, man. You can't give the children today their weak excuses. So the parents don't know because they weren't taught it themselves. So you got to get somebody like the math doctor to give you the information on how math is used. I mean, the books try to do a good job of it, but if you don't know how to read those word problems and understand it, then it's hard to equip your child with it. But they can go on the internet and just type in math and music, math and sports. It's in there, but it's just not, readily available to the children in their schools because a lot of teachers don't know it themselves.
Right.
So as a parent, if that child asked me that, I would just go on the internet and just punch in anything: math and nature, math and music, math and stunt designs for a movie, and it'll pop up.
Good answer. Praise be to Allah. I'm sorry, Brother Click. I ain't mean to jump in on top of you, brother.
Yes, sir. No problem. I apologize for the connection issues. I missed a little bit. Hopefully I'm back on track. Brother Shahi, I wanted to ask you the question. This is mainly geared towards schools and universities and teenagers and adults. But let's say you're a teenager, or let's say you're a teenager, just to begin with that, who you're in your senior year, you're in 12th grade, and your grades in the previous year kind of messed up, and you don't have much of a shot at some of the colleges. Or maybe you're an adult who you've already went to college and you screwed that over, you weren't paying attention or something like that. How do you still become academically brilliant and successful in academics without schooling or without college?
Man, enroll in YouTube University. Free of charge.
Yes, sir.
Everything. They even have MIT professors offering free lectures on YouTube. So whatever you want to learn, if you don't want to go to college, you had bad experience in college, then just get on YouTube and learn it. It just really depends, brother, on your major. Some majors you do need, college, because even if you went to YouTube and learned it, you got to have a stamp, like an architect, a doctor, engineer. Those courses where you have professional status and safety factors and so forth, you have to be accredited in order to practice. Then you got to go to college for those things. But if you just want to become academically strong, if you just want to get the knowledge, then man, it's all over YouTube. And even if you're going to go to college and you want to get a jump start in your math, your calculus, you want to get a jump start in your physics, you want to get a jump start in your horticulture, your botany, your agriculture, whatever, it's there on YouTube. So I would just do my outside work on YouTube. And then if you had bad experiences, I would go to a community college for the first 2 years. Save money, be in smaller classrooms where you can get better help from the professor, and build your GPA up. Blaze that bad boy in the community college, and then you can transfer to the higher educational institutions. Because a lot of times the first 2 years at Harvard, you're going to get the same first 2 years that you went if you went to Malcolm X College, because you don't get really into your major until the third year. The first 2 years are all those baccalaureate degree requirements. You need an English, you need a math, you need sociology course. Just a bunch of I won't say wasted courses, but a lot of it is just fluff courses, what they so-called supposed to be making you a holistic person and so forth. I didn't pay for all that. I want to be an architect. Just give me what I need to be an architect. I don't need to study Plato and Socrates. I can watch a video on YouTube with that. But see, it's all about making money. So they want to draw you out for 4 years, which you could do in 2.
Right.
That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, quick thinking, fast moving, man. We in our Muhammad University of Islam, you don't hold the child back. They should be graduating with PhDs, he said, by 16.
Right.
This is the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But in Satan's world, they drag you out for 12 years and it ain't nothing but repeat of the same stuff.
Wow.
Okay. So if I was having a bad experience in college, I would probably start out with a community college. I would go to YouTube University, get myself ready with whatever I'm going to be studying, and then go from there. Save money, please. Save getting a student loan, getting in debt like the math doctor, still in debt, paying off something from years ago, still paying on student loans.
Yes, sir.
Praying Biden gets some heart.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
Totally out.
Everybody want Biden to come through on this one.
I don't need no 10 G's. I need 30 G's.
30
like
G's.
that.
Yes, sir. You forgave them banks and you forgave Sally Mae and all of that. You paid them back and they still collected
right.
They still collected college fees. So praise be to Allah. So we want to thank you, brother, for coming on. We are already at the closing remarks stage.
Thank you, beloved, for the
invitation. We definitely want to thank you. So brother, math doctor, brother, student minister Shaheed Muhammad, a constant contributor to the Nation of Islam, always up speaking. Let me ask you, brother, before we go, your first experience speaking from Mosque Mariam, brother, were you nervous?
Man, I'm nervous every time I go up.
I know, bro. How is that, brother? How is that, though?
Man,
when that experience for you.
Now, see, the first time was not as nervous as it is now because back then we didn't have webcasts. So you were only speaking to those that were there, and you didn't have the Messiah, the modern day Jesus, sitting down watching your every word.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But now you have the Messiah watching you, and then you have the world watching you.
Yes, sir.
So it's even more nervous, more concerned with every word that come out of your mouth to make sure it's right and exact.
Oh, yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. But
Yes, sir.
be disciplined, brother. Praise Allah. Yes, sir. Okay, well, brother, we want to thank you for coming on once again, brother, sharing with us math skills, math knowledge, just math, even how to take the fear out of math.
Right.
And really letting us know. Thank you for letting us know that we should start them early, and that in and of itself prepares them, our children,
Yes,
young
sir.
children, for math in the future. So thank you for that, brother. So from you, dear brother, you have any final words or anything you want to tell our viewers, and just any
Yeah.
final words?
Well, first, again, thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your illustrious show. I want the viewers to know that if you having any math ailments, math sicknesses, math diseases, you can find the math doctor at www.themathdr.org, and we'll be there. Oh, thank you so much. If you would like workshops, I do workshops for teachers. I do workshops for youth, inspiring them to master mathematics. I even do workshops for parents. Just email me. My email is right there on the screen, mathdr12@gmail.com. And please also visit my show and spread the show. I'm trying to make it go viral. If we got all the stupidity out there that goes viral, we should be able to make the Math Doctor show go viral. It's called Get Your Math On. And I'm going through why we need to master mathematics. And then after a couple episodes, I'm going to be actually teaching different lessons, but showing the relevancy of it as well. So it's good for your children. It's good for teachers to show in their classrooms. It's good for adults that want to understand mathematics better. So Get Your Math On is on my YouTube channel. You can just YouTube Get Your Math On, or my Facebook, or my Instagram. My granddaughter, she's doing all the social media, so I don't even know the hashtags and all that she's using, but if just find me out there, and then once you get it, please spread it, become a friend, become a follower, become a whatever, like it, whatever it does.
Like it. Yes, sir.
just make it blow up, please. So thank you all so much again. May Allah bless this powerful program and bless you all and your families. Once again, assalamu alaikum.
Well, okay, brother Khalik, we want to go to you, brother. You have any final words or any words you'd like to say, sir?
Yes, sir. It was a great experience. Just getting some questions answered and discussion with the math doctor tonight, especially because the importance of the education in the youth. Because it's disturbing to me to see us in a condition like this when we know the truth of our former selves. So I really want us to get back to that state and higher than that state. So I'm glad we had a discussion, some solutions to problems that we may be experiencing, that we may have, so we can better ourselves. But it was a wonderful experience tonight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he is, ain't he? We super proud of him, bro. Praise be to Allah. Brother Ahmed, any last words?
Yes, sir. Do I sound clear?
A little.
Okay. Well, before I say that, I just wanted to ask, Brother Shaheed, in any time in the future, are we ever going to see Brother Shaheed's School of Math and Science?
Man, that would be something. I was actually thinking about doing something like that, a Math and Science Academy. My wife, she actually has Muhammad's Math, Science, Engineering Academy, her own online school, and she's transforming them babies. So I can just be a support to her with her school. But if anybody's interested, 2, 3, 4-year-olds, making them geniuses, then just email me or email her at mocha, MOCHA _mom at MSN.com. Mocha _mom at MSN.com. She's doing a brilliant job with those young babies.
Could you spell that out one more time, please?
Yeah, MOCHA _ mom, MOM at MSN.com. And she's all over the Facebook too, showing, she always putting videos out of what she does with the children. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, I just wanted to say thank you for joining us, brother. my device is a little messed up. But yeah, definitely thank you, and thank you for all the work you're doing with the children. Education is one of my greatest passions, because as a young man, I was put in an Excel program as a young man, but I never had the proper surroundings and support that I needed. So ever since I was of age, I always tutored. Even when I was in elementary school, I tutored kindergarten. And in my community, in my neighborhood, I always went to the daycare centers and helped tutor some of the children. So it's always been a passion for me.
Beautiful.
So now all the brothers you see on the screen, we all work with the Junior FOI. And we're on internet. We do Zoom calls with them. But I've been working with Junior FOI ever since I joined the nation. So it's always been a passion, and I love to see that you all the work that you're doing with the children. So praise be to Allah that gifted you that.
I'm so glad the work that you all are doing with the young men, because we miss that. We need that in every city. So praise be to Allah for what you all do with the young men.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
That is honorable, honorable, honorable.
Yes, sir. All right, Brother Kawi, last word.
Oh, yes, sir. So, Brother Shahid, I've been following you since I joined the ranks.
Praise be to Allah.
I had a chance to meet your son at 15B, man. We got pretty cool with each other.
Yes, yes.
My
twin.
Yes, your twin. That's right. That's right. When I heard your bio at the beginning of the show, brother, I didn't know you had accomplished that. The things that you had accomplished, especially with the acquisition of your farm, man. That's big.
Yes,
I just want to let you know, man. You I for the first 5 years, I just called you the math doctor. I had no idea your name was Shahid, man. So you have branded yourself very well. My son actually had math issues, and I was always told to YouTube you and to help him with the little math that he do know. That I guess that I couldn't explain well, and it's helped him. So I just like to say, man, you have made a difference in this household, and this is my first time, or the national trainer was the first time I ever really met you. So thank you, brother, for what you did. You blazing the trail. Just keep doing what you're doing, soldier. And I thank you for attacking the psychology of the purpose and the value of being of math on our show.
That's right.
Thank you all so much, brothers. And may Allah bless you all and your families. And hopefully one of these days I'll come on down there and visit. What part of Florida are you all in?
No, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Oh, you're in Atlanta. Why did I think Florida?
Probably because I'm from Florida originally.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Florida originally. But
I saw something. Okay, y'all in ATL. Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. Right. So I would like to say, brother math doctor, man, I want to thank you for your labor and your sacrifice as well.
Thank Allah for you.
I know you don't have your schedule is tight, brother. Well, that's a good thing. That means you're using your time, as the minister said, using God's time.
That's right.
Wisely. So definitely we got to use God's time, and we fill our calendar up, and Sunday just had to work for us as well, because we're striving hard just like you, brother, to
yes, sir.
Impart knowledge or whatever we can do, wherever our skills or talents are needed, man. So we watch you, brother. You're on the tube. You're on the YouTube. You're in the Asiatic Minds. You're in the MUI. You're teaching at a college, Malcolm X College, man. You just impart knowledge everywhere you go, brother, and that's a great sacrifice. Right. So we commend that, brother, and we definitely want to highlight these type of things on our show. This is Let Us Make Man, and we showing great men that are actually out here doing the work. And no one can say there are no more good men left, because we're going to highlight all the good men.
That's right.
Yes.
So praise be to Allah for your sacrifice, brother.
Beautiful.
And may Allah continue to bless you and your family.
You all too.
And thank you, Jock Nation. Once again, we come to you with information that can make you a better you. So we ask that you visit our brother's page, visit his podcast, email our brother if you need some help. If you need him to come down to where you are, email him, contact him. He's ready to work. So, and that's it from us, Jock Nation. May Allah continue to bless you all. And as we say, another one.